All right, we are live. Good morning. How's the audio? Are we good with the sound? Can you see the screen? We all good? Looks good on my end. Let me know what the delay is. Guys, I made some changes to the settings. Did we improve on the delay? Let me know. We were at about 6-7 seconds on Monday. So just trying to get that delay as low as possible. All right, so this morning, let me clear some of these windows off of my screen. There we go. And let's actually jump to the structure. So this morning we're looking at prior day high on both ES and NQ. Remember, this area is going to be, well, it previously has been resistance. Prior support turns into resistance. We have no economic data to worry about today, so clean slate as far as the economic calendar is concerned. And what I want to see is how price is going to be trading versus prior day high. Pretty simply, that overnight high, that prior day high area, that's going to be the primary focus for both ES and NQ. NQ kind of have the resistance zone highlighted here. That's just, I keep that on the chart. For me, it's like a visual reminder to be more cautious in this zone with any long setups. I find those visual cues on the chart to be incredibly helpful. It's why I label all of my levels. Anything you can do to kind of give yourself those mental cues and remind yourself of your bearings, right? That's what this is about, and just making sure I have my bearings on the chart as far as trade location is concerned, because we basically think about it as like a map. So that's kind of the focus for now. I want to see how that early morning structure develops. It is notable that buyers stepped in during the overnight session, right? So we definitely have a kind of a tighter structure developing here into this area of resistance. A breakout is possible. So we'll see if we get that this morning. We got the open in about 1 minute. Okay. And let's get this. There we go. All right, 20 seconds till the open. Looking at NQ, looking at that overnight high. Okay, so a little blip above that pre-market high there. We are looking at a very large gap higher, still within the prior day's range, but a large gap higher nonetheless. As always, you can more easily see the gap on your 5-minute regular trading hours chart. So let's see what kind of action we get here. All right, here comes the prior day high. Delay is minuscule. Okay, that's good info. Thank you. NQ prior day high, so watching the test here. A break above that then holds would be significant. Let's see if we could get some acceptance above. Okay, good push through that prior day high. Looking good. Buyers showing their strength. Now, main objective is to kind of hold above that 483 area. See if there's going to be a breakout play or not. Ideally, we see some sort of retest of the prior day high. May not come. May not come. But that would be kind of ideal scenario. ES, on the other hand, not quite into that prior day high just yet. So tech leading a little bit this morning. So prior day high, no acceptance above as of right now. Let's see if any buyers step in this area. Another good example as to why you don't want to trade the breakouts on an index. Individual stocks, sure. Index products, usually no. So back into that pre-market high, just kind of oscillating near the prior day high here. ES did not test the prior day high. In fact, it rejected the pre-market high so far. Yeah, Des, the prior day high is just a reference point, not a true level of interest. I treat them differently. Levels of interest are more important. Those are going to be your stronger pivots. So watch this setup here near the prior day high. Let's see if buyers can hold above. That's their main objective right now. First 5-minute bar is closed. So far, responsive buyers to prior day high. It's good for bulls. Good for bulls and the kind of bigger picture breakout that is potentially underway right now. I was able to grab a small piece of that just as a scalp. Still in a partial, trails in profit. So we'll see if this can actually give the push higher up through session highs and maybe 18,550. So far, no. And there goes my trail. There's the trade. That was 85 entry, 515 final exit. Not bad. 30 points. Start off the sesh. We'll take that on NQ. And now we just want to wait and see, continue to see how price trades versus this prior day high. This is the most significant point here. Nearby anyway. So there it goes, fresh session highs. May have trailed a tad too tight there. It's looking good. If you still have any longs from prior day high, I recommend trimming. Coming into 550, upside level of interest. That is a, if we flip to the 30-minute, little bit of resistance there from Friday's session. But as of right now, the near-term breakout is underway. Prior day high must hold on NQ here. ES just now into prior day high. So ES, keep an eye on that 5340 area. Same type of play is in the works. NQ continues to lead. It's looking really good actually. Anyone grab some of the breakout? Any breakout traders? On the pullback anyway. NQ just shy of 550 now. Some sellers there. Not all that surprising. Those levels of interest. So now, personally staying patient. I want to see how the intraday structure continues to develop. If this breakout can hold past 10 a.m., that would be a significant development. Back into that prior day high zone here. Is it worth throwing the fib yet? Let's see. Right there into that 50% on this 100-point move off the open. What's ES doing? Let's see. So ES potentially working on a higher low, but you want those higher lows to be above the level of interest, above the prior day high, not below, if this does shape up to be a higher low. As of right now, check that exhaustion bar at 939. So sellers stepping in there. NQ, potentially a failed breakout. Keep an eye on those higher time frames. Let's see the 5. There we go. 2 minute. So prior day high is your main focus still. %, retraces overnight high on ES. That's good info. Okay, ES looks better. ES definitely looks better. Up through prior day high now. See if it could push the highs. NQ, retest the prior day high is held so far. Good sign for buyers. Personally did not grab that retest. Still have my one trade. There's the executions. So let's see how this builds out. No new high over at ES just yet. See if it gets it right here. Nope. A lot of sellers still in this area. What you really want here is a push through that then retest, not really this, at least personally. More like what we saw in NQ. So first 15-minute bar is closed on, let me get rid of that fib. On NQ, it is outside of the breakout point. So you definitely want to be cautious with any shorts up through here until you have a stronger signal, personally. The gap, that Sunday gap, has completely filled now. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. 60-minute, here you go. That's a better view. So that gap has completely filled. And what we're looking to see now is if NQ can continue to defend the prior day high past 10 a.m. That would be significant with a fresh session high. So that's kind of what I'm watching right now, watching this intraday structure build out. What is the actual gap fill level? Let me see. That is 514. So let's toss a level there. And yeah, that's kind of right where price is oscillating now. I'll label that Sunday gap fill area. ES made a fresh session high. There's your 5-minute regular trading hours chart. So the gap higher so far is held. Objectively speaking, the challenge now is this prior day high area, which, remember, still a lot of resistance through here. So patient now. Don't forget to hydrate. NQ, that's better. That's better there. Okay, ES back into the highs. Let's see if fresh highs can be made. Let's get that push. ES made a session high there. So buyers are definitely showing up. No new high over at NQ just yet. VWAP is way down there. Way down there. ES, VWAP, yeah, way down there. Ten till 10 a.m. NQ about to make a fresh session high. There it is. New high of day into 550. Level of interest. Russell near VWAP. I see that in the chat. Let's see. Oh, it's already bounced. That was a good looking bounce there. Wonder if anyone caught that. You guys trading the smalls? RTY. Good bounce. Let's check out that structure on RTY. Let me see. So pretty similar. It's kind of that buying from Monday's low. NQ VPOC, let's see that. I'm on ES, NQ. Okay. It's good info. Psychological level there too with 500. Can adjust those fibs. So far, there's still a breakout trade. Prior day high must hold. ES, a little bit of barcode here up above prior day high. Here's your daily chart on NQ. Bump it into a lot of volume here. Daily time frame volume point of control. So waiting for that 10 a.m. patiently. 7 minutes to go. 10 a.m. reversal time. See if the breakout point holds past 10 a.m. As of right now, personally, still just with one trade on the sesh. There it is. NQ. Like I was saying this morning in the pre-market prep live stream in the Traders Think Tank, trade selectivity is key in the current market environment. It's key all the time, but even more so in the current market environment. Typically, I would be more interested in some of these kind of more micro time frame, higher low developments, just trading the structure that you can kind of see here on the 30-second chart. There's your initial, right, higher low, but not in the current environment. So ES still showing that acceptance above prior day high for now. NQ into that 50% retracement on the session. Probably is also the session VPOC. If I could get that back here. There it is. And we're back in a prior day high. Back into that prior day high. Watching that as a reference point only. Five till 10 a.m. A little bit below prior day high here. ES on the other hand, still there, prior day high. Staying patient. Breakout point 550. Bumping into that Sunday gap fill level there, right near 514. So intraday structure, pre 10 a.m., just kind of a little micro range, right, between prior day high 483 and 550 level of interest. Let's see if 10 a.m. can break the structure. ES, meanwhile, wow, look at that. ES making fresh session highs. So ES definitely with a little bit of relative strength versus good old NASDAQ. And for the Russell fans, let's see, just kind of pretty choppy there. You had one initial test of that VWAP area. Otherwise, just chop. I do like the strength in ES. I want to keep a more close eye on this. Let's see, it's eight or so points back down into that level of interest. Let's see where that fib is at now here on ES. There we go. ES pressing. Looks better. NQ making a little bit more of a push here. Got 10 a.m. in 30 seconds or so. No data to worry about, which is nice. ES just pressing. Looking good. Looking good, ES. NQ, if you grab that prior day high long, trim into highs as we get into highs here. Make sure you have a trail in profit. There's 10 a.m. How we doing? How we doing? ES steady into the highs. Breakout play is underway. Let's see if NQ can make that fresh session high. Grabbed another piece there on NQ. Trying to ride. Let's see. John is flat. All good, sir. The day is young. Rich waiting for a VWAP setup. I took two longs, NQ prior day high with some market structure. Dom trying to ride, yeah. I'll give this one a little bit of room. I'll put the trail kind of halfway on the structure down beneath 25. Green a couple points, waiting now. Solid. Nice work, Zach. Nice work, Dom. Trailed out. So if price makes a fresh session high here on NQ, I'll raise the trail to just beneath 35. Struggling with that 550 area. There we go. It's better. So ES appears to be testing Friday's volume point of control. All that structure from there. On Friday, we talked about how significant that structure was. What's NQ doing? Still here. All right. Got the electrolytes on deck. My trail's about to be hit. Here it comes. There we go. Trail was saved. Although if a fresh high is made here, it doesn't move that much based on market structure. Yeah, Dom, it's hot in Texas, man. Even at 5 a.m. There goes the trail. I'm out of that trade, so I'm just chilling now. 2 trades, NQ, both versus that prior day high area. Was holding those runners for a break of 550. Willing to give back some of those open profits for more upside, but did not materialize. So that's how it goes. Yeah, 10 a.m. reversal time panning out right now. Back in a prior day high. Pretty strong move there. Let's see. ES back in a prior day high as well. So that we may just have a kind of a range day on our hands so far anyway. Keep an eye on those prior day highs. Let's see if they can hold past 10 a.m. Nope. NQ says nope. NQ says absolutely not. So does that materialize into a spring? Let's see here. What's ES doing? Still here. Where is... Okay, session volume point of control is still way down there on ES. Probably about to shift right up into this area on ES. NQ, I hate how TradingView makes you zoom out to reset it. So NQ, that's a potential spring, right? Must hold prior day high. That's kind of what you want to see there. Yep, spring panned out nicely. Anyone grab that? I did not grab that. No spring grab for me. But if you take a look, check that 30-second. I mean, it doesn't get much cleaner than that, to be honest with you. No level of interest, but you do have the reference point. Level of interest as I define them, which is based on structure. Anyone? Any takers there? Yeah, Dom definitely grabbed that. Nice work. Tight trails on those if you're in them. Let's see, ES. Holds prior day high. It's a good look for ES. It's the must hold location. Trailed out, nicely done. On those, yeah, just take what you can get. Especially in current environment. There's a wide market. So ES breakout point is holding. Same with NQ so far. Prior day highs are being defended. Responsive buyers being found. Let's jump over to the hourly. Oh, ES gap almost perfectly filled there. That was that gap fill level that marked today's session high. So I'll notate that on the chart just as a reference point for today's session. Yeah, you can see the high right through there. Let's get some fibs drawn again. Wow, ES, look at that. ES was arguably the better trade. You have a level of interest, you have prior day high, you have the fib. Did have to sample some of that ES personally. That was a little too clean to pass on. Took a little more off there. See if we could grab the highs here on ES. 10 points on that NQ spring. We'll take it. We'll take those. Good work. Yeah, if you got shaken out there, don't sweat it. Shaken or trailed out, don't sweat it. That was a good trade. This is kind of the final target for the spring, the 550 on NQ. So if you're still riding, take more off, definitely. ES looking for that session high. Took the lower high at 950 on 2 minute. Lower high 950. I don't see a lower high here. NQ bumping into that 550 again. So far, we do have that kind of intraday range we discussed. ES retest a prior day high that holds almost back into highs. this is still a breakout play on the higher time frames. NQ, or excuse me, the ES trail has been moved just below that structure there, and it's about to be taken out. Decent setup, decent play. Still in some runners for now. Here comes the trail. Yeah, there goes the trail on ES. Not bad. We'll take it. What was that? About 48 entry and 54.5 highest exit. So 6 points or so on ES, and then in Q, we had the two longs versus prior day high. Get those on the screen. There we go. So 3 for 3. Not sure if I'll place any additional trades. We'll kind of see. I'll be live for at least another 45 minutes, offering commentary and analysis, so keep the stream going. But as far as actual trades, maybe not. Daily goal is more than accounted for here. All three trades were versus key location, prior day high. ES had the benefit of the level of interest, as well as the fib retracement. And the big picture idea on both of those is for a range breakout. A breakout of the recent kind of near-term range highs. You have the Sunday gap down point right there, which is also Friday's low, yesterday's high, and the same thing in NQ. If you're wondering about the merits of those plays, how's everyone's morning so far? Green, flat, red? Let me know. How we doing? I saw a lot of green posted earlier, so happy to see that. Green, flat, tiny green, still flat. Okay, a lot of flat. All good. Session is young. Session is young. Looking very barcode for me. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that. A lot of overlapping bars, no doubt. A lot of, especially through here, like there's just a lot of overlap. So get the overlap, see that barcode, It's not very compelling action. I would agree with that statement, definitely. NQ, same thing. Same thing. I mean, we could make the case for the range play, but it requires you to go down onto some of those micro time frame structures. 30-second, right? Or your 15-second. And if you do that, it kind of cleans it up a bit, but it's a faster market. So and then if you're looking at a 1 minute, it just makes the stop so wide on NQ. So you really got to drop size. I do think everyone should be looking at this trade on ES, studying that one later on today, trying to understand that one, because that was a level of interest, prior day high and fib retracement. So did not hit the full target, but still an A+ quality play there on ES. Let's see if this breakout continues to hold or not here on ES. Not super compelling when you're looking at a breakout trade and price is repeatedly testing that breakout point. Typically, you want to see a quick move away from that point, not this type of action. So tells us that it may not be ready yet and the breakout could potentially fail. NQ coming into session lows here. So anything below prior day high on both the indices, I would be cautious with long setups personally, especially if this starts to look more and more like a failed breakout. 15-minute NQ, let's see. Yep. Yeah, potential failed breakout in the works here. See 30-minute. 30-minute is bearish engulfing so far. NQ with a new low of day. Does it set up the spring? You could see how it absorbed it already. Would have been a tough one to enter. Nope, no spring. Get rid of that fib. ES not quite into lows yet. No, it did actually give the spring on NQ there. Nice. That's the undercut of the low of day. No level, which for me makes it really tough. But that's the spring trade. Let's see how prior day high is treated now if sellers step in here. I'd like to bring, there we go. So some responsive sellers there at prior day high. Can they keep it below? Can sellers keep it below the prior day high? That's their main objective. ES, same. So you have the low day spring scalp on NQ, now testing prior day high. No trade for me there, just watching this structure. See if it reclaims the prior day high or not. Attempting to. You did have VWAP down below there. I mean, that's just the location of the signal relative to VWAP is so wide. I wouldn't even, personally, I would not even consider that a move into VWAP. That's the spring setup. So ES did not make a fresh session low. Definitely showing that it is stronger than NASDAQ this morning on a relative basis. Flip back to the 1 minute. Buyers need this push up through the 483, 485 area. Prior intraday support. Right through there. Bounce, 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 bounce. And then is this going to be a rejection? So prior day high, first retest rejected there. No clear direction either way. Just sideways still for the sesh. May see that change here shortly. Grab the short on RTY. All right, Dom, later. Nice sesh, man. RTY. Oh, nice. Nice, Rich. Make sure you're locking some profits. Solid. So ES back into that bounce point. Let's see NQ. Let's see this. Prior day high holds as support all morning, right? Breaks below, then acts as resistance. Gap higher for the most part is held. If we do see fresh lows through here, through 400, you may see that gap fill. I'm in no rush for fresh exposure personally. Had the 3 longs, hit my daily goal. NQ with a fresh low a day there. VWAP coming up now, as well as the 400 level of interest. Here it comes. So if there's any buying interest here, it should give you a good clue for about how this structure is getting ready to unfold. But take a look at that 30-minute bar, which closes in 1 minute. This is what I was saying a few minutes ago. Once that prior day high failed, you want to be very, very cautious with any longs, because now we're talking about potentially a failed breakout. Also look at just kind of how this structure has built out. Each time a previous high was breached, right, there's a pretty significant pullback. New high is breached compared to here, pullback, right? So is that what we're looking at? As always, no crystal ball or anything, just thinking out loud, looking at the structure, play by play. That is what we do as traders. Not married to any singular idea at all. So NQ into VWAP, 400 level of interest. See how this shapes out. Let's check the 2 minute. See if you actually get a signal here, if it just flushes down and through. Took that short on Q's 2 hour trader style. QQQ. Nice. Yep. That's it right there. That's it. Hit profit target too. So if you're still in, make sure trail's in profit. Nicely done. Was that prior day high as well? Let's see. Yeah, right around there. That's a layup. Nicely done. Yeah, prior high day. So NQ holding VWAP, holding that 400 level of interest. If you grabbed it, trim into that prior day high. It's a nice bounce. Good action there. Good action there. You got the 2-minute doji, quite wide, right? Ideally, you want to find a tighter entry than that. But regardless, trades in profit, coming into an area of resistance. Were there any takers? The one negative thing about that trade is if you were treating this like a failed breakout, brings in that extra degree of risk. What's ES doing? So no new low of day yet at ES. No new low at ES. A reclaim of prior day high here on NQ would be significant in the near term, in my opinion. The bearish engulfing 30-minute bar has shown no follow through so far, no move through that 30-minute low. Rich, you grabbed it. Nice work. Nice work. Yeah, Dom, definitely could. You could treat this whole kind of red zone here as the breakout point, right? So it was resistance. I just changed the color. These big areas, I always treat them like zones. So definitely still there. Main thing is just to have that awareness about location, where price is located. Prior day high, still finding sellers there. And look at the kind of shift in structure ever since it broke. Lower high, lower high. So let's see how this kind of area down here, right through here, resolves. It's kind of the focus for now. Retest there. Rest day after 2 days of big ranges. Yeah, definitely a possibility. Though I said that yesterday, and we had, right after the stream ended, started to really see that push higher. So stay patient. We are still looking at what's VIX printing right now. VIX is still a 23 handle. Still high. Still high. Like that 12 VIX environment we were in, one of these 70, 80 point bounces would be insane to see. And now that's just like a normal thing. So context is key. As of right now, price could not reclaim that prior day high. Let's see that 15-minute. Should be closing soon. Yeah, 15-minute closes in 4 minutes. As an inside bar, not super compelling for buyers as of right now anyway. The other thing to consider is that remember the overnight move. Right, we're still talking about pretty big gap higher. So we have all that action overnight. Do we see something like this? And then you get the move tomorrow. Another idea to think about. I'll be keeping an eye on NQ 400 here. Buyers definitely don't want to see this 400 fail. That would not be a good look. Let's have a look at the ETF QQQ daily chart. Look how tight that range is so far. But also look at the shape of it. Buyers have done a good job so far defending the gap higher, so far anyway. But QQQ has a lot of resistance through here that then became support. It's like that 448 area. And then let's check SPY. Yeah, SPY, similar shaped daily bar. So main watch right now is prior day high and the 400 downside level of interest on NQ. And ES kind of in no man's land for me. I'll be interested in prior day high or that 5340 level of interest, or maybe session lows with VWAP right there. Like an undercut of the low for like a spring with VWAP right there would be nice. May not materialize. 15-minute bar closes in 2 minutes. Let's see if this kind of microstructure can resolve here on NQ, this area we were talking about earlier. Buyers looking for this move. Where is volume point of control? It's still way up here. Okay. High volume node building out through here. Oh, you can't see that. There it is. So monitoring that as well. There it is. There's prior day high. So break above and retest would be significant. So far, NQ may be settling into a tradable range here. 400 by 550. NQ session low pretty much to the tick at VWAP. Gotta love it. Got to love it. NQ into volume point of control. Let's see if prior day high holds now. There's that push. That's the significance of seeing these structures build out and then position accordingly. It's like we always talk about compression, right? And then expansion. Happens on all time frames. So if you're still long from VWAP, this is your target. Start to trim. Check out that 15-minute bar. Yeah, so this kind of near-term volume point of control, I thought it was right here. Let's see. No, it's up above. All right. But this zone, Dom, if you're still here, this zone holding as support now. I'm here grabbing screenshots. Nice. So NQ into session, volume point of control there. Some sellers show up. Kind of overlooked this earlier, but take a look at your prior day RTH chart with volume profile. You'll see the high volume node from yesterday's session right through there, right? Marks the low with that 400 level of interest. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. That's why I like to look at prior day structure. If price is trading near those points, you can grab a lot of info from that, which has a material impact on edge, in my opinion. So here's NQ back into 550. This structure resolves near the lows, right? We get the push. No retest granted. So you have to position either at VWAP or with a higher low. Now the question is, does price settle into an intraday range 550 by 400. Let's see. And if so, that'll be tradable throughout the day, throughout the entirety of the session. Anyone end up in longs from lower there on NQ? There's ES. So 550, those sellers show up again. It's looking more and more like that potential range idea just discussed. Intraday range 550 by 400 on NQ. ES. You could make a case for 330 by 360. Let's take a look at it. Is that some prior day structure? It's the prior day value area high. So yeah, and prior day structure there. Okay. All right. Again, the value of prior day structure, that prior day volume profile on the regular trading hours chart can be very valuable. So now session volume point of control holding. See if NQ makes a fresh session high here. So NQ earlier, little bit of a spring type of setup with VWAP with the 400 level of interest. Challenge on this trade is that if you're thinking failed breakout, it does make it harder, but this is still going to be a B plus, A minus, maybe even A quality trade, depending on how you want to look at it. No new trades for me post 10 a.m. Hit daily goal before 10, so just watching the structure unfold. So 550, some sellers still sitting there on NQ. about 90 minutes in. How are we doing? How are we doing? Any updates? Daily gold rich, nice. Don't overdo it now. Red tried a long at 1020 on ES. 1020. 1020. Oh, that looks pretty good. I guess you're looking for more, most likely. That looks pretty nice, though. That's a situation where the idea works, right? But you're just a little too early. So NQ 550 sellers. Yeah, it's looking more and more like that range day. ES back near prior day high. See if that prior day high holds. Check that 15-minute bar. NQ into 500, so those 550 sellers prevailing yet again. $550 shorts getting paid. See if prior day high is retested. ES almost back into that prior day high here. Where is volume point of control? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Volume's definitely tapering down pretty good. Take a look at that. Sloping lower as we get later into the morning. What I would be looking for now is if you're still wanting to trade late morning and you're not currently short from 550, you want to see reactions into prior day high if buyers step in right there, or back down into this area here, VWAP, 400 level of interest, session low zone. So there's a couple of scenarios to be watching for here on NQ, and then on ES similarly, you want either prior day high kind of retested there. I mean, it's pretty close as is, but or retest the session highs or these lows down through here, which aligns with, remember, that prior day structure point and prior day value area high right through here. 53.25, 53 kind of 26 area remains significant in the near term on ES. For right now, I mean, look at these 5-minute bars. That's what we call barcode, right? Pure barcode action. So you got to stay patient. Let that good location trade that you want, or as always, you can just shut it down, right? Depending on where you're at on the day. I'd like to see prior day high retest potentially, or kind of that 400 area. That would be two opportunities I would be interested in on NQ. The other scenario, if the range does not hold, is the breakout up through 550, retest 550, right? And then the continuation play. So a couple of ideas to be watching for. As of right now, it does look like that range is kind of the most likely scenario here. So hourly, let's see. Let's see the hourly, Mr. Higher time frame. Oh, hourly. Yeah, so hourly is kind of struggling with this volume point of control here on the past 4 or 5 sessions. We did have that retest of the 400 that held. Still an area to be cautious. Definitely. Because just like I had said earlier, look at how this structure is built out. Here's a high, price breaks that high, pulls in, price breaks that previous high, pulls in, right? Price is now breaking that previous high. Does it pull in? Or does the breakout point hold? So these are things we're always weighing as traders. Just oscillation here near that gap fill spot, Sunday's gap fill. NQ, there's that retest, the prior day high, holding back into session volume point of control. Did that give an entry? Maybe for a scalp. Let's see. Yeah, that looks better. 15-second with your 500 psychological level and the prior day high right below. So I like a long right there. Did not grab that trade personally, but I like that setup. I would be trimming right into here. and trying to hold the rest for highs with a trail. That's exactly how I'd do it. So there was one of the scenarios we just discussed like 2 minutes ago. Retest the prior day high and hold. Very nice. Now let's see how the 550 is going to be treated here. Also interesting. Remember in yesterday's private stream, if you were in there, I was talking about the flurry of activity that you'll usually see around a new 30-minute bar. When did this happen? Right at 11, right through here, 11:01, 11:02. It's that new 30-minute bar. A little burst of activity. That was a scalpable opportunity. ES, same thing. Perfect retest prior day high to the tick. Really nice. Really nice. Let's see kind of those micro. Yeah, look at the 15-second. And you could make a case for. That's kind of right up John's alley. I wonder if John grabbed that. John, you still here? Did you grab that? A little undercut of the prior low. Prior day high right below, right? 15-second hammer. And ES pushing now. See if it can retest the highs. There's NQ back in a 550. See if a new high is made. So we had talked about this structure resolving and then given a retest of that prior day high. It did give the retest just after a test of 550. Missed it. All good. All good. So any NQ longs should be trimmed off here if you got them. That was pretty nice. Pretty nice. So more responsive sellers at 550. Got those 550 sellers again. See, does it break higher? ES not even into the highs. See if it breaks higher. NQ. Oops. Wrong chart. There we go, 30-minute. So a 30-minute barcode could potentially resolve here with a break up through the highs. Let's see. I'm watching. Definitely watching that. Breaking the highs could cancel your lunch. Yep. True. Let's see if we get the break right here. It rejects. getting tight here near the 550s. ES kind of in no man's land now. No level to work with. NQ, we're looking at 550. Rejects. Working on that prior day high again now. And you got your session volume point of control up here at 520. So if prior day high fails now, probably has a retest of the lows in the works, and then that'll pretty much solidify the range day that we've been talking about. See if that prior day high fails or holds again. So far holding. These are those sessions where you have to identify these tighter structures and just be comfortable with scalping them. Or, like I always say, just not trade. Not trade. So far, 550 sellers continue to show up. I think that's pretty much a wrap for me. I had the two longs on NQ. See if we bring those up here. Yeah, there we go. So two longs versus prior day high. A couple of the favorites for today per the plan I discussed in the pre-market prep in the Traders Think Tank. And then we went for the ES. See if we find that one. ES retest of that same prior day high. There it is. Yep. So right there. So pretty good sesh. 3 for 3. I'll take it. I think I'm most likely going to call it here. Again, if you're trading late morning, what you want to see is either prior day high here, like NQ is currently trading against. See if this area holds. Or what you're looking at is the 400 downside level of interest with session lows and VWAP in that zone. The other area is the 550. As of right now, it does look like a range day, right? 550 by 400 150 point range. Not bad. Definitely tradable if you have the patience to actually wait for the levels of interest to trade and not be getting involved in what would be considered no man's land, right? So pay attention to those levels and how the market structure builds out. Let's take a look at ES. So still here, following that bounce of the prior day high, it did not retest the session highs, which is significant in my opinion. Not a good sign for buyers. So don't love the action here in ES. Personally, think NQ is trading a bit cleaner. Prior day high, again, responsive buyers there. So just kind of ping-ponging between prior day high and 550. 550, you do want to watch for the potential breakout. If anything, just set an alert, right? Keep an eye on that, because if it breaks out and gives a retest, that's something you may want to be involved with. But other than that, I think that's a wrap. Thanks for jumping in the stream, everyone. Appreciate your guys' time. Hope everyone is having a good trading day. Hope the information here was helpful. If you have any feedback, feel free to let me know. Send me a DM in the Traders Think Tank. Most likely tomorrow will be another private stream in the Traders Think Tank. So if you are a member there, you'll have access. If not, jump in the Traders Think Tank to take part in that. All right, guys. Have a good day.